Bless up, bless up, bless up, y'all. It's your guy right here, Makai the pharmacist, Free Haven Farms. I got a little time today. Not much, but a couple minutes. I'm gonna jump on this live and talk to y'all a little bit about growing some food. You know, that's my specialty. That's what we do, is we grow food. The pharmacist, that name comes because I assist with the farm, you know. And one of the things I did to help assist everyone with growing food is I wrote a book. I wrote a couple books, but I want to talk about this one right quick. Garden Planning 101. All right, now I got a book bundle that I'm doing right now with two of the books that I wrote, where you can get both of these books, and we actually gonna put some seeds inside of the bundle for you guys to go ahead and get started in your gardens. But this one right here, peace y'all. I appreciate the love, definitely appreciate the love. Yeah, come on in and tell somebody else to come on in. But this one right here, this book I wrote a couple of seasons ago, it's called Garden Planning 101. Now, this book is good because I understand a lot of people don't have a lot of time. So I didn't write a very thick book. It's not big. You feel me? But it's got like 37 pages, about 40 pages of good information, especially if you've never started a garden before. All right, I discuss certain topics like different grow systems that you could think about growing. And depending on what your circumstances are, what your situation is, you need to figure out which grow system is best for you. So I break down container gardens. I break down growing in raised beds. I break down growing in ground. All right, containers, indoor gardens. Indoor gardens, that's like grow tents and grow lights, hydroponics. If you're in an apartment, you might need to do an indoor grow tent or something like that. So we got some suggestions in here that's going to definitely help you out to just get started with growing some food. I also have a lot of resources here, so different websites that y'all could check out to get your tools from, order seeds, different websites that we have used over the years. So check out Garden Planning 101. All right, it's a book. Like I said, it's available right now. And this game right here, like, if you've never had a garden before, it's good. But if you've had a garden before, it's also good, because I give a lot of principles and philosophies that you could expand upon. All right, so I give some of the philosophy about growing food or growing plants in general. All right, so I break down the science of plant happiness, and I do have some pictures in here, but I break down the science of plant happiness, like what it takes to make your plants happy. All right, that's one of the irrigation systems. Talk about some irrigation and how you could catch some rainwater. Right. Some raised beds, how you could build some raised beds. Right. Some containers and how you can make it work in the container. You feel me? There's no excuses. You could use grow tents. All right, if you're in an apartment, you could use grow tents. And then within that grow tent, you could do different things like hydroponics. So, yeah, I break it all down. But one of the principles I'm going to tell you about in this book that you're going to learn is plant happiness. I made an acronym called the Laws of Plant Happiness. You have to understand that if your plants are happy, then they're going to give you what you want. Plants are a lot like people in so many different ways. All right, from the percentage of water that exists in plants, they 75 to 80% water, just like people. There's a lot of elements that plants need out of the soil to be healthy, that us as humans need in our bodies to be healthy. There's a lot of things that make us and plants very, very similar. And one of the things that we have to think about as far as just the energy. all right, is that is happiness, right? Or what people might call happiness, contentment, all right, a level of satisfaction. When we're happy, when we're content, we're at our best. All right, you're able to be very productive and get things done. But if you're disgruntled, if you're uncomfortable, if you're at dis-ease, you know what I'm saying, then you can't be productive. You can't get things done. You're going to be more stressed out about that thing. So we focus on what it takes to make your plants happy. All right? And plants have different personalities, just like people. If you've ever been around children, right? You've been in the classroom, if you have children of your own, you know, all your kids got different personalities. You know, it's the same thing with plants. And you got to cater to the personality of your plant to make them happy and productive. So we get into that science right there. You know what I'm saying? And what it takes to make your plants happy. All right? And yeah, man, once you understand that science, then you could grow anything anywhere. You'll understand what it takes to make your plants happy, and in that you'll learn how to do the research to figure out, if you don't already know, what it takes to make your plants happy, and then create an environment for them to be happy and productive. You feel me? And it's the same thing for us. So check it out. All right, that's Garden Planning 101. And like I said, in the book bundle, you're also going to get my other book, Farmalosophy. Both books is going to be there. Farmalosophy is more about, you know, it's nature's lessons that help you grow. So in this book here, I do have a lot of lessons about growing food, but it's more importantly the lesson within the lesson. So while you growing food, you growing your garden, you should be doing the work to grow yourself. And there's a lot of lessons when you out there doing the work that you could apply to self-development. You feel me? And that's the same science that you need to grow your food regeneratively, organically. The same science you are going to need to apply to yourself to grow your health. You're going to need that same science to grow your wealth, to grow your money, to grow relationships, to grow your business, to grow all these different things going on in your life. It's the same science as growing food. You understand? When you look at it, to grow your food regeneratively, you focus on the ecosystem and building your ecosystem. So it's the same thing when when you're developing yourself, you got to focus on the ecosystem and things around you. The soil's got to be right. You see what I'm saying? Your soil, that's your mind. That's where you plant your seeds, your ideas. You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of lessons in nature that we could apply to ourselves. That's what Farmalosophy is all about. So anyways, Farmalosophy, build yourself up. Garden Planning 101, that's especially for new gardeners. Some good information there. And the book bundle you can get right now. Click the link in the bio. I believe that, you know, it's a good investment. You're gonna get some seeds from me too. Someone said, where can I get it? Just click the link in the bio on our main page and you will see the book bundle. I'm not sure about the numbers off the top of my head, but it's a discount right now, and you're gonna get the seeds too when we send it to you. All right. Look, man, I gotta get back on the grind before this sun goes down. I just want to jump on the live right quick, show y'all a little thing about these books, and give y'all a little game about, you know, growing that food, growing yourself. And that's what it is. Right now is the time for you to be on it. I know the weather's cold. You see what I'm saying? And a deer in my yard. See the deer in my yard. As long as they ain't in the back where my food is. But yeah, check this out. Go on the website. I have it there for you. You know, if you don't go on the website, just click the link in the bio. You know, you're going to get it either way. And get on our email list because we got updates. We have a workshop on December 20th. December 20th is our next workshop. All right, it's going to be all about seeds. A lot of game in there for y'all about seeds, and the seeds you should be buying right now. Because like I said, right now is the time that you want to be looking at buying your seeds for the springtime. All right, garden planning, plan out your garden, getting your materials together, and all that work right there. Now is the time that you want to be doing that. So, like I said, these books are available for you for the holiday season. People buying gifts, so it's a good gift for somebody too. All right, and that's what it do. If you can't come to that workshop though, on December 20th, we gonna have the live stream available too. So even if you can't come in person, it's gonna be in West Philadelphia at 221 South 52nd Street in Philadelphia. Someone said USA. Yes, I'm in the United States right now. It's going to be at 221 South 52nd Street at ACAF on December 20th. You could come in person. I would love to meet you. Get a book for me in person. You feel me? I'm going to be there with Dr. Cynthia Hall. We're going to break down a lot of information. Everyone that comes to the workshop, I'm going to have seeds. I'm going to have a whole seed starter kit for you. Everyone that comes to the workshop, you're going to get some seeds from me. Some other material that you need to, just get some plants started. And we got limited space. So if you want to come to the workshop, click the link in the bio for that too and reserve your seat. You feel me? And if you don't live in Philly, you can't get there for the in-person, just live stream it. When you click the link and you go to the workshop, you'll see the live stream option, and you'll be able to live stream it like you right there. All right. That's on December 20th. So you don't want to miss that. Like I said, it's a small space. We got limited space. So if you're thinking about it, jump on it, get your seat. We already selling tickets. All right. Somebody asked about a visit to the farm. Yo, we done with our farm season right now. Here at Freehaven Farms, our farm activities. I'm on homestead time, so we just, we growing some things for the family. But we'll be back at it in the springtime. We're definitely gonna have a lot of live workshop, a lot of live classes, a lot of live things that we doing at the farm in the springtime. All right, so definitely. We hope that you guys can come out. We're going to have the summer camp for the kids. All that. A lot of the schedule for 2025, we're going to be putting out soon. This is the time that we go ahead and put our schedule out at the end of the year, end of 2024. We're in December right now. So within the next few weeks, we're going to have our 2025 schedule, and we're going to let y'all know. So you can start to schedule that, you know what I'm saying, for your next season. But for the here and now, like I said, we got that workshop on December 20th. You could definitely live stream. We got this book bundle right here with the Garden Planning 101. Boom, Farmalosophy. What else I got on deck on the site? If you go to the site there, I got some mullein leaf. People, look to use mullein right now. It's good for all your bronchial, your chest, your throat, all that. You can get some. Just go to the site. If you got hot sauce from me, it should be on the way. I didn't make my next batch yet. When I make another batch of hot sauce, you'll know. It'll be up there. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, like I said, now is the time for you guys to get ahead of the game and start planning for your garden in the springtime by buying your seeds, getting your tools together, getting your materials together, planning the thing out, setting up your little germination propagation area. Start your seeds indoors in the wintertime, and then once you have seedlings, you could transplant them outside when it gets warmer. Now, if you live someplace where it's already warm right now, you don't have no excuses. Just get out there, keep growing, And we have consultations too. So check out our consultation program, because we do the virtual consultations. Like we write online like this. We do a Zoom, or we do the FaceTime, whatever. And we do the virtual consultation. We have that. We have in-person consultations where we actually pull up on you and give you a whole breakdown on how you should be setting up your growth system. And then we have another level of our consultation program where you can choose a lesson that you want to learn in agriculture, in growing food, in the farm business, agro industry, how to make money, whatever pertaining to what we do here at Free Haven Farms. We could put a lesson together for you and have that one-on-one lesson. So that's a feature that's in our consultation program. So if you haven't checked that out, like I said, click the link in the bio and check out our consultation program and see if you need to get a consultation with me or Dr. Cynthia Hall or the both of us. And there's no excuses, you know what I'm saying? We all need to grow a little something. And look, man, I be telling people all the time, growing food, having a little garden, having a plant that you keep it in the house, that is going to enhance your life in every way. It just is. It's not going to take anything from your life. It's going to enhance your life. All right, and we living in a technology world where we need as much nature as we can. We need to connect to nature in as many ways as we can because we tied up, we busy. And when you have a garden, you see what I'm saying? If you got a little container garden or a little raised bed. When I lived in Philly, I lived in certain areas that I ain't have no yard at all. It was concrete jungle. I ain't have no grass. So I had to figure out how to grow food outside with no grass. And I was able to, get really nice with building raised beds. And I was able to get really good at growing out of containers and container gardens. And I made people realize that even if you don't have any grass in a yard, you just got a little space, you can still grow big. You feel me? And then, I used to teach a garden program. We got a couple schools that we're working with right now in Camden. But I used to teach a program in West Philly at Harambe. Shout out to Harambe, all my people out there. For like 7 years, I taught a garden program out there. And the thing that we used to always get into was that even there in Philly, we took over a vacant lot. And we were able to get the soil right and grow all this food out of that space. You see what I'm saying? And all it took was a little bit of strategy, a little bit of planning. You see what I'm saying? So it could be done. Now, the way it enhances your life, it should be self-explanatory. All right? It enhances your life because you outside, like I said, every time you put your hands in the dirt, in the soil, whether you're in a container, raised bed, or in the ground, when you're putting your hands in the dirt, you're grounding yourself. You see what I'm saying? You're grounding yourself. There's been research that's been done to show that there is a bacteria in the soil that releases serotonin and dopamine in your brain. People take Prozac for and drugs to balance the depression and, imbalances that they be having, you can get through nature by just putting your hands in the dirt. Look it up. You know what I'm saying? This is the benefit of having a little garden. Even if you just have a house plant, you feel me, in a container, that house plants purify the air. In your house, you gotta have some plants growing. You gotta have some life in your house. But plants take in carbon dioxide and they release oxygen. That's the exchange that happens with the leaves of the plants. So even if you have plants in your house, not even a big garden, and you just working your plants, taking off the dead leaves, watering it, situating the soil, working your plants, it's gonna bless you. It's gonna benefit you. And then what I found is that time that I'm working my plants, whether I'm outside or in my container, whatever, I'm in a meditation. You see what I'm saying? I got my phone down, I'm doing the work, but my mind is going. And I've come up with some of my best ideas. I've figured out some of my most challenging problems while I was doing that work, and had that alone time, that time to, like I said, put my phone down and really deal with my thoughts. Those are some of the benefits that come with, like, having a garden. You know what I'm saying? Growing a little food, having some plants. That's just some of it. And then if you get outside, you got a little space outside, you got a yard or something, man, now we're talking about getting that exercise in. You outside when the sun's there, boom, you getting vitamin D from the sun, you getting fresh air. What? And then whether you growing inside in a grow tent or outside, when you produce that food, now you got organic, freshly grown food. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how much nutrients is lost in food because of the time between when it's harvested and when you eat it? And the only way to really close that space of time is to grow some of your own, where you're actually harvesting it and eating it. Harvesting it, cooking it, eating it. It hits different. That's living food and getting all the nutrients. You feel me? So these are some of the benefits of having a garden and growing your own food. Not to mention the classroom. So that garden that I started, right? Exactly. My queen said if you grow it, then you're more likely to eat it. You are. You see what I'm saying? When working with the youth in Philly especially, right? I love my experiences working in Philly with the youth, man. So I used to ask them. I said, how many? I'll be like, how many of y'all like potatoes? And be you get like 2 hands. And I'll be like, yo, how many of y'all like French fries? It'd be like, boom, the whole room go up. I'll be like, man, you like potatoes, you like French fries. You know what I'm saying? So that was the education and the reconnection with the food right there. You see what I'm saying? And those lessons. And then, like, you know, we go through the edible parts of the plant, talk about eating the flower. We grew some broccoli. They understood when we harvested the broccoli crown, we got the flower part of the plant. You feel me? And these lessons are deep. But those youth that worked in that garden with me, a lot of them thought they didn't like vegetables. They thought they didn't like kale. They thought they didn't like collard greens. They didn't like tomatoes. I had mad kids that was like, I don't like tomatoes. You like pizza? Yeah. You like tomatoes. I don't like basil. I'll be like, all right, you like spaghetti, and you probably like basil. And so they were great lessons. But those youth they ate the salad that we made. They ate every single piece of that broccoli, that bok choy, those collard greens we grew. You know what I'm saying? The beets we grew. It didn't matter what we grew, because we grew it. Those youth ate that food. They ate those vegetables. And what they thought they didn't like, come to find out, they was okay with it. And then we'd always, you know, go through the process of making our own salad and having that experience with them, where they go seed to table, putting the dressing on it, and, you know, doing what it do so that it is tasty. You know what I'm saying? But it's just these lessons that I learned in working with the youth. Like I said, having a garden, growing some food, having some plants will enhance your life in every way. In every way. It's like growing food is a little bit of a challenge. Having a garden is a little bit of a challenge. If you're like, yo, I'm about to, you know, create a garden for myself, grow some food for myself this year. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but it is something you can do. And I say it's not easy because you just haven't got your formula down yet, maybe. But the thing is, once you start doing it, it comes easy. And it's just second nature. And all you gotta do is find a little bit of space and time. And that's what we figured out, is that you don't need much space and you don't need much time. And you can do it. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like that's gonna be the highest quality of food. Organic, it's a label. You're gonna really know it's organic when you're growing it. You know what I mean? And that's all there is to it. Like I said, I think a lot of the challenges that I've heard from people talking to them over the years is time. And like, I don't have the time. And so what we do is we address that and create and grow systems that don't require a lot of your time. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people say, it's money. There's an overhead in growing, having a garden. So we just show different ways that you can do it yourself and cut down on your overhead. You see what I'm saying? Techniques. It's the way you do it. It's not what you do. It's how you do it. And so, and then the other thing is just like, I don't have no space. And so we also address that and how with the small space, you can, like I said, create different situations. Like, I'll break all that down in this book here, Garden Planning 101. And in a small space, you could have a container garden. You know what I mean? If you're inside in an apartment, you could have a grow tent and some grow lights. That's a grow tent and some grow lights. You could even grow hydroponically. If you're living in the desert and you don't get a lot of rain, you might need a system that has hydroponics. Boom. It's all right there. Anyway, I got some things I got to do before this sun goes down. I hope that someone learned something from the live. All right. I hope that I've been able to, if anything, inspire y'all to get into growing some food. I've been doing this for like 20 years for my family. Ever since day one, ever since we had our first child, Satafa, we were like, listen, we don't want to spend all our money at the grocery store trying to buy organic. And we're not sure how organic is. We used to go to Whole Foods and call it whole check because we spent a whole check there. And when we seen what our overhead was, we was like, yo, we can grow this. You see what I'm saying? And my wife at the time, Cynthia, she didn't even know I knew how to grow food because I was a plumber. And I knew how to grow. Because my father showed me. And I did that since a young boy. You know what I mean? Back in Connecticut, I knew how to touch the land. I knew how to grow collard greens. Because my grandfather showed me in Kentucky, touch the land. I knew how to do it. I just didn't really have to do it until I had my own children. Until I wanted to take control of my health and my situation. You see what I'm saying? Back in those hard times when we had our first child, we like I said, we was like on some super duper raw health. You know what I mean? We was reading Dr. Sabi. You know what I mean? We was watching film on Dr. Layla Africa. We was, in the Queen of Fua. We was, we was in it in our 20s, like heavy. And so we had a home birth. You feel me? I caught my first child, cut the umbilical cord at home and everything. We didn't deal with the hospital. We was like, yo, we trying to grow our own food because we, that's what type of time we was on. And so once we started doing it, it just became a way of life. It was a lifestyle. It was like there was no better food. We literally took our grocery bill, which when we did our numbers was our biggest overhead, and we brought it all the way down to like we were spending minimal money at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? For bananas and mangoes, rice and beans and certain things that we wasn't growing like that. We was buying still. But by and large, we were growing like, 80% of what we were eating. Back there, this is in Atlanta. This is when we lived in Atlanta when we had our first child. You know what I'm saying? And so once that became a way of life, when we moved and relocated to Philadelphia, and we was in Philly for like 10 years, nothing changed. We already had it set up as a way of life. You see what I'm saying? So what we did is when we first moved to Germantown, we Cynthia, the queen, she's a geochemist. So this what makes our relationship unique. Is she's a scientist of the soil, geochemist. Geo means earth. So she's a scientist, a chemist of the earth, and her specialty was soil. And at the time, she was even, and when we were in Atlanta, she was doing some work on nitrogen fixation. So, like, this is crazy, but she started really schooling me and changed the whole way I approach farming, because I ain't know nothing about, you see what I'm saying? And so she was like, she schooled me on nitrogen fixation. You know what I'm saying? Quick story, man, I'm about to get off this thing. So when we was in Atlanta, our backyard was consumed by kudzu. Alright? If you know anything about kudzu, if you down south, you know about kudzu. Alright? And kudzu it's a takeover, John. It's a very invasive crop. It just, you don't plant it, it just grows wild. I forgot where it came from. I feel like it came from Japan or something, ended up there. But anyway, kudzu grows all over the south. And our whole backyard was filled with kudzu. You cut it down, it comes back. You got to get it from the root to really get it out. It's a thing. It's a thing. And so I didn't think that I could grow any food in the backyard because it was consumed by this kudzu. I did some research to see how to get it out, but I wasn't sure about the quality of the soil. My queen told me that kudzu is one of the best nitrogen fixers out there. She was like, the nitrogen fixation level on the kudzu is unmatched. And so I didn't really understand what that meant, and she broke it down to me and just showed me how, you know, nitrogen fixation, you got these certain plants that take nitrogen out of the air, they put it into the soil through the bacteria that's on the roots, boop bop bip, and your plants, especially your greens, need a lot of nitrogen. So people, when they do it the unnatural way, they put nitrogen into the soil with fertilizers, which is bad, because it kills a lot of living organisms in the soil. It depletes the soil, and over time, those plants become dependent on the fertilizer. So it's good for the fertilizer companies, bad for your soil, bad for your plants, and bad for you. So things like nitrogen fixers, all right, they call them cover crops. We plant certain things intentionally on our farm. Once I figured all this out, this is back then, but nitrogen fixers put that nitrogen in your soil naturally. You don't have to put no fertilizer there. And like I said, your greens need a lot of nitrogen. So when you plant your collard greens, your kale, your bok choy, your cabbage, all those greens, in that area that you planted nitrogen fixers, your greens will thrive. It will do really well to grow out of control. All right? And so I figured that out in Atlanta. A problem became, a situation that allowed us to educate ourselves. And even right now, we deal with nitrogen fixation. We plant cover crops in the areas where we're going to plant our greens. So right now is the off season, and in the areas where I'm going to plant some greens next year, I got things like crimson clover planted there, buckwheat. We use vetch. You see what I'm saying? White clover. Those are all different nitrogen fixers that are building up the nitrogen levels in that soil, so when I plant there in the springtime, it's gonna pop. That's just like, man, that's some of the journey right there, you feel me? So what we are doing right now is we're passing the ladder, yo. You feel me? I'm like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years for my family, and we love what we do. It's a way of life for us, but we realize that there's a lot more people that need to make this a way of life and need this to be a lifestyle, especially in our community. It was 2 years ago, I was doing some research. There's 19 million new farmers, new growers of food, 19 million new gardeners, people that are growing food in America. That happened. 1 in every 4 houses in America got a garden going on. So this thing be popping. But when you look at our community, in my community, those numbers don't match. And so I realized that there's a lot of work that has to be done. And then I'm an official farmer. Like, besides just growing food, I'm an official USDA certified farmer. You dig? And we got a lot of game on how you can get yourself in that flow too. All right, I'm just put it like that. But I'm a certified farmer, so even outside of just growing food, you gotta understand that the average age of the farmers in America is 65 years old. It's 65 years old. This is an issue that a lot of people don't know exists, because there's a disconnect with the people that have grown food here and the people that, you see what I'm saying, are growing food. Because a lot of these farmers, their descendants, their youth, they're not keeping the farms going in the farm business. And like I said, the average age of the farmer gets older and older. So we need more young farmers. We need more young farmers. A lot of numbers are shocking. You know what I'm saying? Of the farmers in America, only 2% of them are people of color. Only 2% are black farmers. And I don't know about that number sometimes. You feel me? And then when you look at like organically grown food, you know what I'm saying, the highest quality of food of all these farms in America, it's like, 2.5% that are growing food like that. So there's a need for more people to grow food for themselves, to get into this game. And we are a conduit. So what you need to do is get a consultation with me. If you're ready to take it to a next level, I would like to share my experience with you and help you do what you need to do. So, you know what I'm saying, on our main page, you can click the link in the bio. You can go to the website, and you could schedule a consultation. We could do it virtually. We got an in-person option. We got an educational package that we could put together for you through our consultation program. Just check it out. See what's there. And if not, then get on some of these books that I wrote. We got the book bundle going on right now. Save yourself some money. Click the link in the bio, order that. You know what I'm saying? And feed your mind. Right now is the time to get the game, get the education so you could apply it as soon as the spring starts. And let's get it, man. 2025 is the year to start growing something. All right, man, I'm out. Stay rooted. Keep growing. Bless.